Hey everyone, this is Michelle Barnes. Tonight's topic, actually, it's kind of a funny story. Okay, so I'm racing around, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. I'm doing last minute Christmas shopping, trying to fit calls for the business in between doing everything, running errands, running all over the place, getting everything done, picking up stuff to make Christmas brunch for my family, and, doing the last minute Santa Claus stuff and all the mom stuff that moms do. And I was thinking, oh man, yeah, I got to do my video still. And I started thinking, and then all of a sudden, that little voice of mediocrity started creeping up, going, oh, I don't really feel like doing a video today, and who's gonna watch it anyway? I mean, it's the day before Christmas Eve. Everybody's probably running around as busy and crazy as I am, and I'm tired, and my kids had that crud that was going around. I've been trying to ward it off for a week or two now, doing thoughts or things. I'm not going to get sick. And, I've got a bazillion, I haven't even started wrapping presents. And so all of these things were creeping into that little voice. We've all got that little voice of mediocrity that, we know we need to do something, and all of a sudden that little voice comes up. So I decided that's going to be our topic for tonight. So how many of you have been, you're supposed to go to you have a home event or something like that, and you're like, oh man, I don't really feel like going. I'd rather just, snuggle up on the couch with, my spouse or my kids. Gosh, it's cold outside. Oh, the roads are probably bad. And, we come up with all this stuff, whether it's a meeting, whether it's a home event, whether it's getting on a conference call, oh man, I'd rather sleep in or do this or do that. And that voice of mediocrity is always going to be there, guys. And it's one thing that I realized tonight when I was putting off, doing my video for today. I'm listening to that little voice, and it almost talked me out of doing a video today. I was like, maybe I can make it up. I'll do one on Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I'll even do one on Saturday. And then I thought, wait a minute, successful people, that's the difference between successful people and people who are not successful. And the difference between being average and above average is just a little bit. So there's my dogs. So the difference between being average and above average is just a little bit. It's just going that extra mile, making a decision that you're going to do it anyway. Think about the gym, another great example of how many times, today, great example, I did not feel like working out. It was just one of those days. I got so much on my plate, and I was thinking, oh, I don't need to go to yoga today, and I don't really feel like it, and, what if it makes me more sick, and, all these things. And I said, screw it, I'm just going to go. It's those slide edge choices, and, every choice is either moving us forward or moving us backward. There's no neutral. And so I made a decision. I went to yoga, and and how many times have you, dreaded going to the gym, and that little voice of mediocrity tries to talk you out of going to the gym. You go anyway, and then once you go, you feel way better. That's what happened to me today. I felt a million times better after I went to yoga. And so same thing with the video. I'm glad I did it, but here's the thing, guys. The difference between being successful and not successful are doing the things you don't necessarily always feel like doing, okay? You're not always going to feel like going to a meeting. You're not always going to feel like going to a home event. You're not always going to feel like getting on a conference call. You're not always going to feel like doing a Skype at 10 o'clock at night. You're not always going to feel like, whatever, making phone calls and calling your prospects or doing follow-up. But the difference between the people who are successful in our business is that those people choose to do it anyway. And so that's what I'm telling you guys right now is don't listen to that little voice of mediocrity. Successful people do the things that they don't want to do. And the crazy thing, guys, in our business, do the things you don't want to do long enough, and you don't have to do them anymore. And then once you don't have to do them anymore, you love it so much you continue to do it anyway. But for the rest of our lives, there's always going to be situations, and we're always going to come to that fork in the road where we're going to have to make a decision to either move our lives forward or move our lives backward. And it's those slide edge choices. So make the right choice. I know it's crazy during the holidays, but make their choices, even if it's just 3 choices a day that are moving you closer to your goal. Imagine how many that will compound and turn into over the next year. So with that, have an awesome night.